Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to show you an easy way to reintroduce the natural curve of your spine to improve your posture and also reduce your back pain. All you need is a rolled up towel. So I'm using a regular bath towel. And then what you're going to do is to fold the towel in half and then fold it again in half so you have a quarter. And then go ahead and roll the width way of the towel into a lock. Now, the thickness of the lock depending on your body type. I'm a tiny little person. So this thickness is actually approximately going to be suitable to me. I'm going to show you how to reduce or add on if you need to. So first of all, once you've got the towel ready, put it on the side, and I just want you to lie on your back. Right, so just put it on the side for a second, and then go ahead and roll yourself down and come to a lying supine on your back. And just bend the knee here. I want you to just bring the heel in line with the sit bone and just arrive on the mat. Close your eyes, and I want you to just feel how your spine is today. Is there any sort of discomfort in any part of your spine? Can you recognize the curve underneath the spine? And can you just recognize any, I'll say, stiffness in the spine? All right, now we're going to get the towel. So just roll to your side and then grab and reach out to the towel. We are going to place the towel across your sacrum. So where your sacrum meets with the lumbar spine, or I would say underneath the lower spine. Now, the thickness of the towel will need to be adjusted according to your body type. For me, I have to unroll the towel. So it's not a full roll, and I'm going to bring my pelvis over one end and my lower back over the other end. So I think this is good. We'll see. I'm going to have to change it. Maybe I may need to change it. So I trust that you adjust the thickness according to your lower back ability or the space in the lower back. I can actually go a little bit thicker. So I want the pelvis to tip down over the far side and the towel to support the lumbar spine. Actually, that's a little bit too thick. Okay, now once you find that spot, right, so align the feet with the pelvis and just allow the pelvis to arrive on the mat. All right, keep the arms long here and maybe just breathe in. And exhale, allow the pelvis to be heavier on the mat. Inhalation, just breathing into the ribs. And exhale. So one thing, try not to over push your pelvis, over push your spine. So be comfortable in this position. And then here, once you're ready, bring the feet slightly outward, so wider than the pelvis. Take your arms out to the side and then do a few hip rolls for me. So dropping the legs to one side and then over to the other side. Inhale and over to one side. And then just keep breathing. Notice if there's any stickiness or discomfort at any side of the pelvis, part of the hip, and then rolling inward and rolling the other way. Let's do one more. Keep it easy. My towel is rolling away from me. I just need to adjust it and come back to center. Walk the feet so the heel bone are aligned with the pelvis, and then take your arm down by the side. So go ahead and glide the right leg out. And then from here, allow the right leg to be somewhat loose and just relax on the floor. And I want you to externally rotate your femur, which is your thigh bone, outward. So now your kneecap is facing the outside of the body, and then roll it inward to the inside of the body and outside of the body and inside. And keeping the pelvis stable, we're rotating the head of the femur out and in, and just keep moving and in. Again, notice if there's any stickiness in the sacrum, in the hip as you roll in and roll out, and come back to center, bring it back in, and glide the other leg out again. Right, keep it relaxed, and rolling out in the hip, rolling in. Again, notice if there's any stickiness in the hip or something catches or discomfort. So if you feel like the towel is too thick for you because then you are overextending the lower back, and unroll it and make it slightly more comfortable. You don't have to push it so hard. Maybe eventually you can make the towel rather thick, and rolling in and rolling out, and give me a few more of this, and come back to center and glide the leg in. All right, so bring the heel in line with the pelvis with the sit bone. Now here, use the abdominal, imprint the lumbar spine into the roller. Now you pick up the pelvis, you go into what we call a posterior tilt, tipping the pelvis back or up off the floor in this case. Now hold that. Now this time pair up with the chin. So tuck the chin into your chest here, so you're creating a double chin. So you are flexing both ends of the spine, and then release the pelvis, release the chin, and arc the neck over into an extension, and then exhaling, imprint the lower back, the bottom, the tailbone curl up, the chin tuck in, so you're flattening the neck and the lumbar spine, and then releasing the lumbar spine and releasing the neck into an arc. And exhaling, just moving both ends of the spine into flexion, lowering and moving both ends of the spine into extension. 2 more. Keep it fluid and arching. Last one. And arching, and come back to your neutral-ish, what you center, and release. Now we're going to remove the towel from underneath you. So just lift the pelvis up, slide the towel out to the side, and rest the pelvis, and notice. Notice if there is any different in the pelvis and the relationship of your spine with the mat. Okay, notice if there's any different sensation. Maybe, I don't know, less sticky, less soreness, more freedom. Whatever that is, that's valid. That's your body. Acknowledge it. All right, now we move on to the next one. We still need the towel. So I am going to roll the towel fully into a full roll, so quite thick. But again, depends. You may want it to make it a little bit thinner, or you may roll another towel to make it thicker, depending on the kind of towel you have here. So mine is just a regular bath towel, it's not really a beach towel. So what we're going to do is bring the towel lengthway on the pelvis. So the top of the pelvis and the lumbar spine is just arriving on the top edge of the towel. So the towel is now vertical, aligned with the rest of the spine. And then the tailbone is on the far end. Okay, so my lower back is not actually supported, if that makes sense. So the lock is lengthway with the spine. Now here, I want you to just find your tailbone, arch it down to the towel, and rub it. Just rub. Just rub it. Just rubbing it. That's a bit awkward, but I'll just rub it. So there is a bit of an arc here. Rub, and then release. All right. Now, what we're going to do, locate your right hip joint. So I'm just placing my fingertip in the right hip. Now, drop the right hip down. So your right pelvis is now sliding off to one side of the towel. The knee is adjusting with the pelvis. Come back to center. And then I'm going to dig my left fingers into my left hip and allow that hip to crease down. So I'm dropping the pelvis to that left side and come back. You may still use the fingertips as an assistant or just keep the arm by the side. So basically just gliding off to one side and center. Gliding off to the other side and center. And again, you need to make this comfortable for you. If you're sensing a discomfort, pain, maybe ease off a little bit. Okay, and then eventually you can increase the range as you practice. Over, maybe you find some cracking sensation, creaks and cracks in the pelvis, in the hip joint. Inhale, and then dropping. Just regulate your breath and dropping. So we allow the pelvis to adjust down and over and over, mobilizing the hip, mobilizing the pelvis and the lumbar spine. One more each side and over and come back to center. And now what we're going to do is, again, tipping the pelvis posteriorly. So curl the tailbone up. You don't have to actually lift the whole pelvis up, just kind of curling. And then pair it up with the chin. So both ends coming into flexion and release, both ends going into extension and release. Both ends we coming into flexion, tuck the chin, curl the tail, and then both ends coming into extension, arching. And that exhaling, curling, and an inhaling, arching, and an exhaling, curling. We are reintroducing mobility and the curvature of the lumbar and your sacrum here. And one more in flexing and arching. Release. Okay, now let's lift the pelvis. Take the towel to the side and rest the pelvis down. Ooh, arms by the side, and notice the difference of the sensation in the pelvis and the lumbar spine. Maybe move a little bit, rock it a little bit. Do you find more ease in your pelvis, more ease in the lumbar? If you are suffering with the back pain, do you sense a new sensation, new easiness, mobility, whatever that is? Take note, okay? All right, now we're gonna work on the thoracic. So here, with that towel, we're gonna bring the towel lengthway along with the spine. And then we're gonna lie the head and possibly the upper back on the rolled up towel. So you will just gonna have to adjust your body. Maybe move up a little bit, move down so your neck and your head is nicely supported, and the top part of the spine, so my scapula is just resting on the lower end of the towel. All right, well, let's take the arms up here. Right, now reaching the right arm up. So the scapula glide out and back, reaching the left arm up. So the left scapula glide out away from the rib cage and down. Inhaling, reach. Exhaling, inhaling, reach. So we pull away from the floor, reach the sky and down. Pull away, reach the sky and down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, down. Two more set. Reach. Last set, reach. Last one. And now turn the palms to your feet. Bring the arms overhead to your maximum shoulder flexibility without thrusting the ribs up. So glide the rib cage, lower rib cage down to the pelvis and then glide it in here. Inhaling, reach. Exhaling and reach over. Exhaling and then reach. Two more. Last one. Bring the arms overhead, circle out and down to the pelvis, turn the palms, circle up again. And So we're making a circular motion with the arms and bring it up. One more. And reversing down, turn the palms overhead. And just keep the movement or the motion of the arm quite fluid here. Palms up, over, and then down. Last one, palms up, over, and then down. Keep the arms down by the side. Just curl the tail up, curl the chin in. Release both ends into extension. And curl the tail up, curl the chin in, and release both ends. And two more. And arcing. Last one. And arcing. And release. All right, now we're going to remove the towel again. So roll to one side and remove the towel, put it on the side, and lie on your back. Wow, now I wanted you to just close your eyes and breathe normally and explore or feel, take note, the new sensation of the spine and the alignment. How does it feel now? Can you recognize the space underneath the spine, the space, the freedom in the front of the chest, freedom in the front of the spine, and just recognize. All right, now roll to the side and slowly come off, and I want you to come to a standing position. Just stand and feel the new spine of yours. How great is that? Simple, straightforward. All you need to have is just 15 minutes. 15 minutes to realign your spine, to reintroduce the natural curve of the spine. And once you got this, once this is in your system, I can guarantee your pain, your back pain, any pain is going to move out of your body. All right? So do this regularly. Comment below. Share with me how you feel. I'd like to hear from you. All right, take care. Have a great day. I'll see you back on the mat tomorrow.